and I'll adjust my break even based on any either chart level or P level adjustment or stop and reverse adjustments. Now, there'll be some key level, major key levels where if I haven't hit a target, then I won't move it. I'll leave a couple of ticks of risk on. Once I actually hit a target, an actionable target, then I'll go ahead and move it to true break even if it hasn't already. Well, I am going to have to say goodbye, guys. No, I won't see y'all until I don't know when the next time I'll see you. It'll be sometime on the road, maybe. Yeah, because I won't be back at home until like February 21st. But I've got 5 days on the road going out to Phoenix, so I might be able to get in the morning. So doing that. Yeah. Well, as I say, I'll probably be jumping in. I'm not going to be running my room at all, but I'll probably try to jump in mornings on the trip out and the trip back. So that's going to be like the 16th to the 21st or something like that. 17th to the 21st, and then I'll be going out Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And I'll be in place Tuesday, and we're not on the range till Wednesday, so I'll probably see you Tuesday morning at least. Hey, in fact, yeah, I'll be able to just sit in on office hours Tuesday. That'll be nice for a change. All right, we'll see you. Thank you, sir. I am live. Okay. Didn't intend to do that, but that's all right. We can deal with that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Backpack Trader Training Room for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It's not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Trade your charts, not mine. All right. Crude oil inventory report at 10:30. Marking up charts. I hit the wrong button, I guess. So far, that's too early, but it's still valid. Get in sync. Where are we on crude here? 9 o'clock start. Excuse me. I'm going to assume that long trade was avoidable. We got a swing just right beside it that would have caused me to hesitate a little getting into that anyway. So that one I'm going to stay away from at this point. So we take a full loss on the, well, I don't know. What's the timing on that subsequent stop? Oh, that one's too fast too. It's like, yeah, that one's too fast as well. So no trades yet on crude. Unleaded in a beautiful trade. That's going to be the power quitting trade this morning. Trailing all the way up above target 4. Target 1 was worth 25, target 2, 40. Not a big trade, but now we've got a trailer at 9057 from our entry at 8973. So 27 and 57. 84 ticks on the trailer so far. Right, soybeans has gone too far on the short. We have a potential long trade. It's a white trade. Hasn't confirmed yet on the histogram. Early trade stopped out. So I'll put the entry line there. That's the potential long trade. No stops and target yet. Waiting for confirmation on the histogram. Cyan line has to cross above the yellow line. It looks like they're right together at this point. Yeah, currently both. Let's see. Closing this bar, we may very well get the trade because we're 2/100ths above the yellow line. Up to 63, so that's another 6 points, 90 ticks. Crude giving us potential short, stopped out of its long trade. One's big enough. That trade has canceled. So looking for new trades on the YM. Just looking for new trade on the micro Russell. 94 ticks on the trailer for unleaded. Market is open. YM and micro Russell pushing upward, but no trades. Unleaded continuing to push upward. Long trade on the micro Russell. Short trade was too fast to have executed. Long trade, same so far. It's getting sync. And full stop out, so that's a no trade there. A little quick this morning. Yeah, that needed to move a tick. So I'll go to 73.6, it looks like. Ah, we got a new set of exhaustion dots. That probably ended up being a small trade, is why it didn't set up. All right. Yeah, that short was too fast. Long, long. We definitely would have gotten in. Stop and reverse to short would have gotten in, which takes a full loss. This short, let's see, is it going to get in? 52, 55. Yeah, we would be in that one. So that's two full losses on the YM plus the stop and reverse loss. Long trade setup. YM pushing higher. A lot of noise. Again, it's short. That wick says we definitely got in that winner on the short on the micro Russell. This is an example of why I don't try to trade this many charts at once. Actually, I think we've got a, yeah, that's a intrabar break even stop. There's a short. That triggers in. We have to come down a tick. So 63.99 or 63.9. So we have a win and a loss. Or no, a win and a break even, excuse me. And there's another at least break even. YM with another short. Oh, YM is just being nasty. All right. Stop and reverse there for a very small loss, which goes to, so that's going to be 3, 4, 5. Trade 6 is another. YM just is really out of sync on this market, which does happen. That's what a losing session looks like. That session is done, so I'm going to move the move the pound, or not the pound Aussie, but actually pound Aussie is one and done. It's two positions off at target 3 and 3 on the trailer. Target 3 was 15 pips, 45, or no, 30 pips there. And then we pick up, entry was 09 to 07. We pick up 6 more, so 36 pips on the morning. One and done on pound Aussie. Put unleaded there, so we can keep an eye on the micro NQ. Micro NQ down over under 26,000 today. Just about to our start time. All right, this one's break even. Too early, so we'll wait for the next setup. Start time is 4 minutes after market open. Wow. Micro Russell going back and forth. Break even, break even. Unknown. Win. Okay. We do get a long trade that goes to his, and that's a break even on the micro NQ. So break even for trade number 1. Unleaded, still trailing. 91.19 from 89.73. And there is the stop out. Unleaded is done. $146 ticks on the trailer. Plus, what did I say? 50, 40 for target. So 186 for target 2 traders. 171 for target 1. And put the micro queue back on top. All right, we get a short that goes full stop out. So we have a break even, a loss, and then we get a win. Very good win. So this will take care of the loss easily. All 3 actionable targets, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, nice trailer. $338.75. Micro Russell with a solid long trade. That's certainly going to be about the last trade of the day for that Micro Russell. And we're going to be in our 6 trades there. I just didn't have time to run through them all. Big win here on the micro NQ for trade number. Is this? Yeah. Trade number 3. Trade number 3 was off to the races. Now we have trade number 4 as a short. There's money management. So trade number 4 is going to be at least break even. And there's the break even stop. And target 2 win. And we reverse to long. That one I think was avoidable. Well, we exit, but I think that, well, actually no, we hit. That would stay short. So I'm going to say I would have stayed short with that because the reaction was too quick, I think, to have gotten in. So I would stay there. be trailing now. We've gotten to at least halfway to target 3, so we'll be trailing the 14. There's target 3 and target 4. All right, that stops out. That's going to be 16, 17, 18 and a quarter. And the long trade, definitely in the trade. See the wick down there. That one goes for a target. One, two, three wins. Didn't get target 3. We now are in a short that's a full loss. 3 wins, 2 losses, and a break even, I think it was. Go back and see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stayed in there. That's so 5. And yeah, trade 6 was the loss. So 2 losses, 3 wins, and a break even. And micro NQ is done. I'm not sure where that trade plan ended. So crude's still looking for its first trade. And we're 43 minutes into the session. That's a squeeze zone filter trade. And we're lagging again. All right. Soybean still flat. Crude still flat. Let's see if that'll catch up now. Actually, let's see. We have crude and soybeans. That's it. Everything else is finished. And crude and soybeans neither one has had a trade yet this morning. Busy morning. Not much to do for the next half hour. Watching the micro Russell very active, micro NQ pretty active. YM really noisy. Fruit with a nice run up. Set a low at 86. Touched that a couple of times. And then heading for, went up as high as looks like 45, roughly 45, and may continue on up from here. Bouncing on, there's a long trade. That's our first looking at it and going, da-da-dee-dee. Yeah, there's our first trade of the morning is long, and that just triggered in. Just touched the entry. The earlier trades were just too fast. On crude. Interesting. Soybeans doesn't know where it's going. Potential trades showing up, but not, or getting close to showing up potential trades. Does not get going very far. We've got to, I believe we get blue on this bar on the histogram. So that would open up the, let's see. Reopen the data box. Yep, trend is is positive, so we have the potential for a white short trade. YM sets a new session high and then comes off of it a bit. YM pushing getting pretty close. Just less than 300 points. We were less than 300 points from the 50,000 level. Only about 2 minutes behind now, so we've caught up some on the data. There's a long trade on soybeans. Looks like, I would say that probably spiked to the entry and then pull back before you would have been able to trade that. So I'm going to assume a one tick adjustment around that spike and get in sync. Well, I am all over the place this morning. We're trading down at the 49.4 range early this morning, right at the open. Got up to 49.730, and now we're back down into the mid 49.5s. Well, I am moving around quite a bit this morning. And Micro Russell setting a new session low. That wouldn't have been a bad adjustment anyway on soybeans, because that was right at the session open. So one tick around that open trade entry would have been a reasonable adjustment anyway, and that would have kept us out. Not much to go on now, however. Soybeans is flat, crude is long. Crude testing the 200 EMA support. Actually, we got down to low enough to kind of test the 50. 20 coming up through 20 simple moving average coming up through the 50 EMA or 200 EMA rather. All right. Micro Russell and Micro NQ both at session lows. YM headed down. Soybeans. That is a filtered short, but because we're not in the trade, that's being filtered because of the trend mode. The calculator thinks it's in the long trade, but that is going to be a valid trade. 106.3 1/4. Rude testing the 50 EMA again. Coming up on news at 10 o'clock. And crude takes a full stop out. That's going to be the last trade of the day. We're in stand down now for news. Inventory report at 10:30. ISM services coming out at 10 o'clock. Soybeans stops out. The long trade is canceled. I would have taken that short trade at 63 1/4 if I were trading soybeans. There's the trade is get in sync because we're now out of the long trade. As I say, I would have been in that trade and probably not going to be able to track it because it'll stop tracking when it hits target 1 if it hasn't pulled back up to the entry. But that would, to me, that would be the valid trade since we didn't actually enter the long. Yeah, let's see if soybeans can make any headway. Let's see. Actually, no, I would not have taken that trade. Yeah, that's a get in sync. It's not. I wouldn't be in that trade because that would have been. We'd have been stood. I'd have been stood down for news at 10 o'clock. All right. The only thing that we've got to watch is soybeans at this point. So if it looks like it's just going to hang around again. All right. I mean, we're late enough now, and I would take that trade as a get in sync and see whether it hits target one or comes back up to the entry. Okay, chase ticks triggered in, so it pushed the entry down a couple of ticks. Slow movement. Cruise done for the 9 a.m. session. Come 10 o'clock. Let's see, how did we ever? Looks like we did catch up. We're in sync again with the data. That's interesting. YM got all the way down to its session low at 49,355. Maybe just a tick or two off of it. So it came down off the high of 730 all the way down to almost 400 points. And now headed right back up after the news. All right, soybeans bouncing off the session low. Couple of ticks. We'll see where it goes. Push down to the session low. One tick from target. All right. Now we're within 2 minutes of when I'm going to have to close this down. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for today, for this session. Final session of the week, and I will be dark until February 24th. I'm going to be traveling for the next couple of weeks. Leaving tomorrow, so no session tomorrow morning. We will close this one down. I'll be back in about just over 10 minutes. I'll try to start it up about 25 minutes after the hour. Crude oil inventory report at 10:30. And we'll wait 2 minutes and start taking trades about 10:32. Start looking for setups about 10:32 anyway. So we'll see everybody back in about 10 minutes.